Welcome back. So, subject we're going to touch on today: the do's and don'ts in relationships. Okay? Because I see a lot of people getting upset at other people about their own shit, and that shit just ain't gonna work. Okay? Look, let's talk about this for a minute. Okay? Welcome back to the Book of Johnson. First off, yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna keep watching this shit. You know you are, cause who the fuck else gives it to you raw like this, with this kind of a twist? You get middle fingers. Okay? Look. All right. Check this out, right? Phone's gonna fucking kill itself over there. Okay, first off, um, let's start off with being involved in other people's relationships. First off, unless both parties are willing to discuss something in their relationship with you at the same time, like if I get two people in here to sit down on my couch, feel me, and we will be having guest appearances. So if you want to get on here, you just let me know. As long as you got to be in the Jersey area, okay? Because I live in Jersey, and I'm not taking this with me. Okay. So that being said, like I said, one, if both parties in the relationship aren't willing to sit down and discuss it in front of you because they're both wanting to come to a resolution to a problem that they feel they need an outside source for, and are open to suggestion, don't get involved in it. Okay? I mean, yeah, I'm not saying, if your friend calls you up crying, telling you that her dude cheated on her, and motherfucking tells you all the fucking foul, fucked up shit in your relationship. If that's your friend, your job is to give as much advice to them as possible without putting your own personal feelings into it. Okay? Because if they're coming to you, they're coming to you for advice. But the problem with that is a lot of times the person that they're going to for advice turns out to be someone that has an objective or a motive behind them. Okay? And so the advice they give them ends up being something that would only further dig that hole. Okay? So unless you're willing to sit down with both of them, don't have a real don't give them a relationship altering input. Okay? Don't, if the girl tells you that her boyfriend's cheating on her and he did this and that and shit, don't turn around and fucking put your foot in there and tell her, well, leave him. Yeah, I heard about him doing this, that, and don't feed more into it. Just tell them, look, this is what you're choosing to stay with. This is who you choose to be with. This is the person that you decided that was the person that was worth you sharing your life with, not me. You feel me? So when somebody tells you something like that, no matter how the conversation goes, you have to let them know that it is their choice and their decision to continue down that road. And that there's nothing, honestly, there's really nothing that you can do or say that will alter what they're going to take next as their action. Because what it all boils down to is what they want to do. So the best bet is to just listen. Just listen and guide them to help themselves. Don't mix in, like, sometimes I see people, like, okay, somebody will post on like Facebook or something, talking about some, their chick cheated on them, and then the next thing you know, somebody else pops up with, yo, mine did the same thing, fuck that bitch, let's go motherfucking find some fucking something new. You feel me? Like, if just because somebody's saying that doesn't mean that there's some new opportunity open. That just means that they wanted to let it go. They're not putting it out there for the input. They're putting it out there so that it can ease their mind, so that it's not stuck in their head all day. Like, people don't realize that. Like, a lot of the shit you see every day being posted, being talked about, being shown on TV, all of it is stuff that people are airing out to get off of their chest. But what happens is everybody keeps commenting on it and commenting on it, and you can take it can go from, I think somebody's cheating on me, to, you know what, fuck that motherfucker, they are, I knew they are, and thank you for telling me your perspective that helped me see that they really are, when all it could really be is that own person's insecurity. And what you've just done by putting in your input is helped to further walk them down the path of insanity that they're stuck in at the moment. Okay, and it's pure insanity. Okay, what is like the definition of insanity? I think it's doing the same thing, doing the same routine, expecting a different result. I think that's the definition of insanity, or something like that. I believe it is. I'll have to look it up to double check and get back to you on that. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The definition of insanity, I think, is doing something like it's like, how can I explain this? Relationships. Most of them go to shit. Why? Because people fall into what they call the honeymoon stage in the beginning. Okay, when everything's all sweet and lovey-dovey, everybody's all on each other, and it's me and you everywhere we go, everything we do, everything's always blah blah. Well, the problem with that is that ends. That ends because when you first start seeing somebody, you don't consciously do it, but you accidentally put on a mask of somebody that you're really not. Why does this happen? Well, because you worry that the person that you're impressed by, that you're trying to impress, might find something that you do normally really fucked up, and that might scare them off. But by not being yourself, you're dooming your relationship from the jump. Like, this is where people make mistakes. It's because everybody jumps in instead of getting to know the person before they actually get involved with them. Like, you have to really know somebody, spend time with them, be out in public, and this is shit you should do. You should do all this before sex, because sex changes everything. Okay, once there's that extra connection, there's no going back from it, and there's nothing that you can do to get back to the way it was before. If you and you won't actually, it'll never go back to the way it was before you had sex, unless you already know that person. Because the thing is as soon as you have sex, that honeymoon shit is damn near over. Because if you weren't comfortable with that person before, and you didn't really know who they were before you had sex, you're gonna find out as soon as you do. Because once that connection is made on that level, like, think about it, if you're willing to have sex with someone, that's the final gift that you can really give somebody, is yourself completely. Okay, and if you skip the get to knowing process before you get to have sex, afterwards it's not going to be the same person you were talking to, because all of their flaws and all of their tweaks and everything is going to come out in a flood. Okay? Now, that's perfectly fine and dandy for some people. Like, some people are the type to jump into a relationship full on right from the jump. I don't see too many of those work. You know, I've been more than a few myself. Okay, so I know that. Fuck, I don't know. It's rushing into that shit doesn't help. Okay, you gotta take. Nobody gets the time to know anybody these days, because everybody's so judgmental and so set on what it is it's supposed to be that you can't be that open with the person that you're trying to be involved with. And that doesn't make any sense. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever, but that's the way things are nowadays. Like, everything's, the morals have been shot shit. Ethics, there's no ethics whatsoever. There's no morals or ethics in relationships anymore. It's a scary thing. But honestly, the thing that gets people into fucked up relationships the most is the notion that you have to be in a relationship. And so when you're by yourself, you sometimes will accept something right then just to have something there, and end up with the complete opposite type of person that you're looking for. And they're gonna know it, and you're gonna know it. But the thing is that you're gonna proceed with it anyway. Like, you think to yourself, you know what, I'm not really that attracted to her, but she's willing to come and chill for the night, though. I mean, maybe if I have a couple drinks, it'll make it a little easier. Like, and that's the wrong way to go about it. Like, don't like, if you have to take those extra steps, if you have to pop a pill, smoke a blunt, or just to be around this person, that's not the person you're supposed to be around. And you're going to be miserable. Period. Like, it's better to be by yourself. When when the relationship ends, you have to take time. You got to take time to mend yourself, because if you don't, and you don't get comfortable with you, and you don't take the time to make sure that you as a person are good, and that you've came to terms with what happened in the relationship that you were in. You have to come to terms with the shit that made that end, and you have to understand that it wasn't all that other person's fault. You have to be able to take the fault for yourself on the things that you did that would encourage things that went the way that they did. Okay, dude cheated on you. Now, was it because you knew he was the popular person in the town, and that everybody went for him, and everybody loved him, and everybody wanted him, and he bounced around? Like, you know that he bounced around from person to person before you two got together. But that's the one you chose to pursue, because honestly, you want what everybody else wants. Everybody does. It's a mindset that's programmed into your fucking head. Like, if everybody else wants it, you have to have it. Period. And that's something that you have to be able to pull yourself away from to find what you're actually looking for. See, the problem is that people these days don't know what they're looking for. They think they do, they say they do, and when you offer them what they're asking for, they will not accept it. Like, I know a shit ton of women that will tell you that chivalry is dead. Why? Because the people that they choose to accept as the ones that they want to give themselves to are the type of people that only want to hit it and quit it. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, um, here, check this out, right? Now, me personally, I'm I'm an old school romantic. Okay, none of my exes would tell you that I cheated on them. They'll tell you that I knew them better than they knew themselves. That I did things like come to their job with fucking shit to surprise them and get like I know the things to do for a woman so that she loves the relationship. Okay, and it's not running a game because when I'm with that person, I'm only with that person. I've never strayed off. Never, not once, not in my entire life have I ever needed more than one woman in my life. Why? Because I don't feel it necessary. Like, what is the point of giving yourself to someone if you're not going to give them all of you? And you can't give somebody all of you and expect there to be something real out of it if you're only putting in 25%. The problem with this is nowadays the kind gestures and the things that passed off as um, romantic when we were kids is now considered being extra, being thirsty. I think that's one of the terms. Fucking thirsty, motherfucking. You know, like okay, if the chick I was talking to told me, hey, let's see, what can we use as an example? If I'm talking to a chick and I know where she works at, I might just pop up and bring her like some flowers or something like that, just to make her day. Just because when you're in a relationship with somebody, what your role is in that relationship is to make sure that your partner is happy, that they feel happy, secure, trusted, comfortable, like attractive. Like, you have to make them know that they're attractive to yourself. You feel me? Like you have to, because the thing is that nobody does this anymore. It's like we get into relationships, and when you get in, it's just okay. We're in a relationship, and you just go about your own business. There's no going the extra mile anymore. Like, there's this girl that I was talking to when I was like fucking 14, 15 years old or some shit like that. Alright, now she wasn't feeling well. Now, me being the person I am, I wanted to go and take care of her. So what did I do? I got one of my friends and we went on a mission. And when I say a mission, I mean we literally went from Trenton, New Jersey all the way out past Princeton, New Jersey. Now, if you don't know how far that is, I don't know either, but it's only 45 minutes to an hour by car. But if you've ever taken a walk and timed it versus how fast it goes on a car, yeah, 5-minute car ride is about the equivalent of a 15 to 20-minute walk. Okay, so it literally, like, driving to get to the place that I was at would have taken about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But for her, I walked and I went to go and make sure that she was good. I didn't care if I was going to get in trouble, because when you're in a relationship, nothing should matter above the other half. That's your other half. If Okay, let's think about it. How can I put this in an example so that you'll understand? I don't know, but we're up to 20 minutes. We're gonna make this a 30-minute video, I guess. Okay. Now, when you're in a relationship, take the human body as a relationship. Okay. Let me use this as an example, because I think this is one that you'll be able to follow. Okay. If the entire human body is a relationship, it requires the top half and the bottom half to work properly. Okay. If you lose, like if you neglect your legs, okay, they'll get all weak and shriveled up and they'll be useless. Alright? So how is it that you're supposed to survive if half of you doesn't work? Like, think about that for a minute. Like, what if motherfucking, ooh, excuse me, sorry. What if fucking somebody came along and started doing things for your girl? Like, because you're not the one that's stopping by her job to make her happy in the middle of the day with a surprise. You're not the one that texts her and when you're about to pass out, just to let her know how beautiful you think she is before she goes to sleep. So what's that do? That makes her feel like she's missing parts of her relationship. Okay, so in turn, from the missing parts, she's going to eventually start to either A, distance herself from you because you're not doing things to make her feel like she's special to you, or B, somebody else is going to be able to intervene and start taking apart all of the bullshit that you don't do and let her know that that's supposed to happen. Now the problem with that is that other person, that sideline motherfucker that's coming in destroying your shit, is only there because he wants your shit. So it's up to you to keep her coming back to you. Now, I know a lot of you think, oh man, what do you mean? I get this bitch dick. That's what she comes back for. All she comes back for is dick. Well, if all she's coming back for is dick, and you know that, and the only reason that you two are continuing to see each other is because you have good sex, but the bitch tried to stab you in the ear and you blacked her fucking eye the night before, that's something you need to cut loose. Like, people don't understand. They're like, oh, you know, there's healthy relationships and then there's relationships. The thing is that everybody thinks that they need to be in one, so we're just grabbing whatever we can. Okay, but the thing is instead of taking the time to wait and find what you really want, everybody's rush. We'll settle for that person that's flawed in like 6 different ways right off the jump, that we know is fucked up, that we don't mesh with, but we're gonna take that right now because you can't have what you want anyway. That's foolish. You don't need to be in a relationship. You need to be in a relationship with yourself. Because if you don't take the time to learn from the mistakes that you made in your previous relationship, not only are you going to carry that with you to your next relationship, but it's also going to create more problems. And you're just going to end up finding that you're pushing people away quicker and quicker and quicker. Why? Because you're stuck in a cycle. This is the cycle. You get into the relationship, some fucked up shit happens, the relationship ends, you're broken. You're sitting on the sideline thinking that you done fucked up somewhere. You know that you fucked up, but instead of realizing that it was something that you did, you put the blame on the partner. But it takes two people to have the problem, so it can't be all one person. There's no way, because if you think it's all them, it's really all you. Why is it all you? Because you got to know this person, and you know that they do things that you don't like. And so instead of accepting them as they are, you try to change them. You can't force somebody to be different. You can't. It's never going to work. And the biggest problem with it is when you do try to change people, sometimes you do change them. But the only thing you change in them is their look at you. Because now, instead of them being that person that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning and go and handle your shit, because they're so right and they're so perfect and that's exactly what you wanted, now instead they feel like you don't want them, because they know that you want something that they don't like. That's not them as a person. So what happens is they start to feel like they're less than what they are, because you tried to change them from who they are. You didn't let them be them, even though the whole reason that you fell in love with them in the first place was because of who they were. It's like everybody tries to change everybody for some reason, and people don't. Look, check this out, right? All right, I smoke weed. Okay, now, the thing is, when I don't smoke weed, I tend to be a little irritable. Okay, so honestly, like the reason I make these videos is because a lot of shit gets to me. Okay, I look and pay attention. I can't help it. It's me. It's who I am. I pay attention to every fucking thing possible. Why? Because life is interesting to me. And don't get me wrong, I love it, and I love that I have the ability to do it and to be in so many different people's lives and help so many people out. But the problem with it is, how can I explain this? I get upset with myself when I'm not able to help somebody that I set forward to help. Like, it makes me feel like I'm doing something fucked up. Okay? Like, let's try something. Okay? We got 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna give you something to try. Okay? Next time, you and your chick get into a fight or whatever, and you guys go your separate ways, right? You're arguing, whatever, you go to take your fucking time off. I want you to sit back and look at why you're arguing. Because usually it's over something really fucking stupid that just gets blown out of proportion, right? But the thing is that you don't let go. You don't let go of it. You have to be able to look back at it and figure out what it was. Otherwise, you're going to have that same problem again. And if you know that it's something stupid, then acknowledge it. That way, maybe next time, you won't have that argument over it. Because if this is the person that you want to be with, then you need to make sure that they know that you want to be with them. And that it's not just because the sex is good and everything else fucking sucks. They want to know that you want them as a whole person. Because nobody wants to be wanted for nothing. And sex is it's everything, but it's nothing at the same time. Why is it nothing? Because you can buy sex. You can get it anywhere. Why is it everything? Because when it's with the person that means something to you, there's nothing beyond that. Like there's nothing beyond that. Like when you're with the person that you want to be with, it wouldn't matter if they had a small dick. It wouldn't matter if she couldn't suck dick. It wouldn't matter if her tits were smaller than what you're used to. If motherfucking maybe he had a unibrow. I don't know. It could be anything. But when you're with them, all of that, when you're in the midst of giving yourself to somebody, all of their imperfections are perfect. Think about it. Just next time you go to lay down with your partner, just look at her. Look at him. Look at her. Whoever it is, boy, girl, whatever. Look at them from head to toe. Like in the middle of, just stop and take a minute. And that will be the best thing you've ever seen. Ever. Every time. Every single time. If you take the time to enjoy them the way that you should be. But that's Booker Johnson. This is over 30 minutes now, so I have to stop this one. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one.